Hello and welcome to part 57. In this video, we will learn about equals method. In the last video, we have learned about toString method. Just like toString method, equal method is also available in all the objects because it is directly available in the object class. So in Visual Studio, if I create an integer a, let's initialize it with 10. And if I say a dot, you will notice I have the option to use equals method. And I can compare the value of a with whatever value I will pass within this method. So let's pass 20 and just print the result of it. If you run the program, you will notice you will receive a false here because 10 is not equal to 20. So as the name suggests, equals method is used to compare the equality. For value types, we can use dot equals method, or we can directly use equal to operator also. So if I want to compare a number with some other number, I can use equal to operator and pass some value here. Even I can provide some variable also. Let me declare integer b equal to 10 and let me check if a equal to b. And if I run the program, you will notice we will receive the true here. So for simple types like integer, strings, floats, booleans, even enums, we can use either equal to operator or we can use dot equals method. So let's understand this with an example of enums. So let me create an enum. I have created an enum with direction name. And as we all know, we have 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. So let's see how equal to operator and dot equals method will work on enums. So let's create 2 directions. And if I say T1 equal to D2, let's see what we will get. We are receiving false because D1 and D2 are different. And if I change it to north and run the program again, I will receive the true. And same thing I can achieve using equals method. D1 dot equals and I can pass D2. So what is happening here? I am invoking dot equals method and I am passing the object with which I want to compare my D1 object. So I want to compare my D1 enum with D2. So we can use equals method, and if I run the program now, you will notice both are giving us same result. So for simple types, you can use equal to operator and you can use dot equals method also. Okay, so point to understand here is equals method do a shallow comparison. It means it checks if both objects refers to the same memory location. You can override this method in your custom classes to define your own logic equality. So now let's understand how equals method will behave in case of complex type like classes. So let me create a class. And I have 2 properties, public name and let's say email address, right? And now let's go ahead and create object of our customer class. Customer C1 equal to new customer and customer C2 equal to new customer. Okay, now let's assign some value to our properties. If you notice here, our customer C1 and C2 are having exactly same properties. Name is equal to Peter and email equal to peter@123.com. So both these properties are matching. And let's see what will happen if I try to check equality for these 2 objects. If I say C1 equal to C2 and let's check it with the equals method also. So if I invoke equals method on this and I pass my C2 object, and if we run the program, you will notice we are receiving false here. Because what is happening in this case, C1 is pointing to a different memory location and C2 is pointing to a different memory location. That's why when we are comparing C1 equal to C2, it is giving false. But for now, let's do one thing. Don't create a new object for C2. Let's comment these lines and let's say customer C2 equal to C1. So what we are doing in this case, we are not creating a new object. What we are doing, we are just making sure C2 is pointing to C1 customer, meaning now the memory location in C1 and C2 is exactly same. Both are pointing to C1 object. If we run the program now, let's see what will happen. In this case, we will receive true here because by default equals operator will check for the memory location of the objects. C1 variable and C2 variable are both pointing to this particular object. That's why we are receiving true here. Whereas in our earlier case, when we were having a new object for C2, we were receiving false. Right? Currently it is false. But let's say in our application, what we want, if two customers are having name and email address as same, we should consider them as equal objects. Meaning when we invoke .equals method, it should return us true if name and emails are same for those customers, which is not currently happening. Even though we have name and email same for both the objects, but because they are holding different memory location, that's why we are receiving false here. So to tackle this problem, what we can do, we can override equals method and provide our own implementation. Let me show you how. You can type override and put a space here. You will get option to override three methods. So let's go ahead and implement equals method in this case, right? So let's remove this and provide our own implementation. Let's say if object equal to null, return false, because if we are passing a null here, we should not go ahead and compare the object. We can directly return the false from here. And if object is not customer, then return false, because the parameter is of object type, and if someone is trying to pass down something of object that is not of customer type, that time we should not go ahead and compare the object. We can directly return the false here. But in case the object is not null and it is of customer type, we can go ahead and compare the properties of name and email. We can say boolean result equal to this dot name equal to obj dot name. You will notice we will not get the option to use name property here because this is of object type. So we have to typecast this object to customer type. Along with that, we should also be checking if the email are equal or not. So let's copy this logic and use it for our email address also. And at the end, let's just return this result. Right now we have successfully overridden the equals method. Now if we try to run our same program, meaning if we try to compare C1 and C2 object using .equals method, let's see what will happen. This time you can see our equal to operator is still giving false because both the memory location in C1 and C2 are different. But when we are executing .equals method, that time, because now we have overwritten and provided our own definition here, like we are telling the C# how I want to compare my object. I want to compare it based on name and email properties. So that's what happening here. We are comparing the object using these two properties. And because these two properties are equal in both the objects, that's why we are seeing it true here. So equals method is returning true from here. All right. So guys, this is how you can override equals method and provide your own implementation and customize your classes. Next point I want to discuss is case sensitivity. By default, dot equals method is case sensitive, meaning if I try to compare two strings and if we check it using equals operator s2, we will receive a false because by default equals method will do case sensitive comparison. You can notice here we receive a false. But if at all you want to do a case insensitive comparison, you can pass the second parameter here that says string comparison dot ignore case. So we can ignore the case using this particular parameter. And if I run the program now, I will receive the true here because now we are not doing a case sensitive comparison. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, we will learn about the difference between the toString and convert.toString method.